Okay, so 3 do's. Let's start with the do's. No, let's start with the don'ts. Okay? So 3 don'ts. I wrote them down so I don't forget because, y'all, my mind is a mess right now. It's a lot. So 3 don'ts. Okay, this is something that I've been seeing and that I've learned personally. Do not be afraid to take risk in your business, okay? What I feel like separates a lot of like more successful businesses than businesses who just kind of stay very, very, very small, don't grow, is because they're afraid to take risk. So business is a risk. Like, you have to be willing to take a risk, whether it's a financial risk, whether it's, rebranding, whether it's, going a different direction in your product line, whether it's deciding that, hey, I thought that I wanted to focus on, this type of customer. Actually, we need to switch it up, like whatever. Do not be afraid to take risks. If you don't want to take the risk, you're going to hold your own self back, because risk are either going to, I try to look at it like it's never really a fail. And some of my risks have not worked out, but some of them have, and it's been great. And some of them, if they don't work out, then it's like, okay, this is what I learned. Now I'm gonna, be able to regroup and come at it from a different angle. Sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't, but you can't be afraid to take the risk. And that's really hard for me, because sometimes, like, I don't know about y'all, but like I have fear with stuff. Like, I don't want to lose money. Like, I don't want it to not work, but like, you're never going to know unless you take the risk. So don't be afraid to take risks. Something else I've had to learn, I posted this to my story last week, about comparing yourself to other businesses. I used to do this a lot. I was following a lot of like larger Instagram brands, and I'll be like, dang, like, how are they doing that? Like, dang, why my business? Why I can't get that many followers? Dang, when am I going to get that many orders? And it really just stole my enjoyment of my journey. So, like, I'm on my own journey, right? Like, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm moving, I'm struggling. Like, I'm on my own journey, okay? And I don't want nobody to take that away from me, because as I grow, as I learn, as I expand, and when I say grow, I'm talking about my business, but I'm also talking about like my personal growth as well, because this has been a huge personal growth journey for me, right? So what I had to do is I had to stop following people. I had to, okay, I can't continue to see this, because I'm getting too wrapped up in what you got going on, and I'm losing focus on what I'm called to do. So I had to unfollow some people, and to this day, I still am, unfollowing some people, because it gets to be too much. So don't compare yourself to other businesses. Don't compare yourself to other people. I know it's a lot harder to do than it is to say, but do what you need to do so you can start being focused on your own journey, because worrying about what everybody else has going on, trying to, oh, they did that, maybe I'm gonna do that. Okay, you don't know everything else going on behind the scenes, okay? They may actually have a real strategy that you may not have all the pieces for. So you catch yourself trying to do A through Z, and you don't even have the rest of the puzzle pieces. So don't compare yourself to other people. The last don't is don't do it alone, okay? So I'm not saying get a business partner or anything like that, but don't go through entrepreneurship alone, okay? One thing that I did early on is I I actually have started like this Instagram group of some other small business owners, and we just had a lot of accountability with each other. It kind of fizzled out like after a few months, which was fine. But during that time, it was so nice just to have people who understood, who you could talk to. I didn't know these people. I got a couple of people, added them to a group, and then they started adding a few people to a group. We probably had 10 people in the group, and it was just really refreshing to have a safe space to where y'all were all hyping each other up. Y'all were all, helping each other problem solve and, holding each other accountable. So that was really nice. And then another thing that I've done as well is, just through building relationships on Instagram and stuff like that, like I've been able to find, new women, new female entrepreneurs that, God has brought into my path that I've been able to connect with and grow with and learn from, and, us encourage each other. So don't do it alone. Another thing is I've joined like mentorship groups. So I have mentorship, I have, women in these mentorship groups that I become very close with. And so that's another way where, I'm not doing this alone. I have other people, that I can bounce ideas around, that understand the struggle, that understand, that it's not all peaches and cream all the time. I'm fortunate enough, my husband is an entrepreneur, and so I'm fortunate that he's very supportive. My family has been supportive. Everyone doesn't have that. So, it may take a little bit of work on your end, but find some people that, even if it's one or two people, find some people that you can connect with, that you can build with and help each other. Okay, that's really, really important. And then, so let's get into the do's. So the do's, one thing that y'all have probably heard before, is, do know who you're talking to. Okay. When I first started, I didn't have 2 clues of who I was talking to. I just, okay, I'm gonna sell this skincare to likely some women, and that's what it was. It was a mess. It was a mess, y'all. It was a hot mess. I didn't know nothing about branding, target audience, nothing. I didn't know a thing. And so as I went on, I had to pray, like, Lord, give me clarity. I pray about a lot of things in my business. I encourage you to do the same. Lord, give me clarity on who I'm supposed to be serving, on who I'm supposed to be talking to, on who I'm supposed to, who is this person? I have got so clear on who she is, what she does, her lifestyle, what she listens to, what type of, people is she following on Instagram? Like, what is her idea of a cool night? What she do on the weekends? Like, y'all, it's crazy. But I didn't have that in the beginning. But as I became more and more familiar with who this person was that I wanted to, talk to, and the person from my retail business is different than the person on my wholesale business. So I've recently got really clear on who I'm trying to serve for this business. And that is so important because it helps you be able to attract that, ideal person who you actually can help, who isn't just kind of along for the ride, who, y'all, they're going to, they need you, right? So you definitely want to make sure you know who you're talking to. It also helps with like your messaging, being able to effectively communicate with that person. If you're targeting a more professional, older woman, your communication is going to be a little bit different if you was talking to more like a millennial, person who lives in, you know, like Atlanta or something. Like your language may be a little bit more urban than on the professional side. So know who you're talking to. That's a do for sure. Another do is make sure you have your back end set up. And what I mean by back end is make sure you have everything set up. So when someone comes to your website, that you have things set up to where you can stay in touch with them if they purchase, if they don't purchase. So, you know, obviously not every single person that comes to your website you're going to stay in touch with, because not every single person that comes to your website is somebody that is meant to shop with you. They're just checking you out. Oh, okay. They're not interested. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you find what you're looking for somewhere else, right? Like, that's just how it goes. So make sure you have your back end set up to where you have, you know, some sort of system, whether it's a pop-up, whether it's a landing page, whether it's, I'm trying to think of, what, a pop-up landing page, you know, maybe, I don't know. My brain is a little sleepy right now. But make sure you have that set up so that, you know, you're able to collect their emails, phone numbers, both birth dates, what they're interested in, whatever you want to collect from them. Make sure you have that set up so that you can keep in touch with them. Make sure you have your email set up. So once they subscribe to your email, it doesn't just get a pop-up that says, oh, thank you for subscribing, and then that's the end of it. No, you need stuff in place so that whoever decided that they wanted to hear from you actually hears from you, okay? Get your welcome series set up. Get your abandoned cart set up. Get your... for new customers, I'm trying to think what else. Get this isn't really like a flow to set up, but make sure you have some type of plan for how often you're going to be sending them messages after they exit your flows, right? So if your email flow lasts, 2 weeks or whatever, 3 weeks, okay, that can't be the end. Like, are you going to be sending 1 email a week, 2 emails a week, an email every other day? Like, what are you going to do to keep in touch with these people? So make sure you have your back end set up so that nobody is slipping through the cracks. If they don't want to hear from you, they're going to unsubscribe. But as long as you're on the list, I'm going to do my part, because more than likely, I see a lot of the pop-ups is like, oh, subscribe so you can get access, or you can get this discount, or get new arrivals and stuff like that. And then, you drop them and you don't send the email. You just post it on Instagram. Well, the people signed up for the email or the text message because that's how they wanted to receive the information. So make sure you got that together. And then the last thing is be consistent in everything that you do. So I can say this about myself. I have been consistent since day one. Be consistent. A lot of times people, be consistent and show up on Instagram. Okay, Instagram is not the only place that the business is at, okay? So be consistent in everything that you do. Be consistent in your email communication. Be consistent in, your ability to go live. I talked about this last week. Like, make sure y'all are going live. Make sure you have something in place that's like, okay, I'm going to commit to this, and then do it. Make sure you have something in place for your consistency. Like I said, showing up on whatever social media platform that you enjoy. Be consistent with that. That doesn't have to mean every single day, but if you want to post every other day, then do it every other day. Don't do it like one time on Monday and then next time on Thursday and then next time on Tuesday. Like, be consistent so people know like what's going on. Otherwise, you're not going to stay top of mind. And they're going to think that, because I think this about people. Like, I'm like, are you serious? Because you're not available. Like, I'm not seeing what's going on. So be consistent so people know you're serious. Be consistent, in responding to messages, right? Be consistent in your products, your quality. Be consistent with, your, what am I trying to say? Be consistent with your posting. And I'm not talking about like how often you post. I'm talking about like what you're posting. Like if you're kind of like scattered all over the place, people are going to be very confused. Like be consistent in, like the type of stuff that you're posting. Make it make sense. So people know like, okay, this page is about this. You don't want to be all over the place. Like you want to be consistent pretty much, because otherwise people are not going to take you seriously. I'm not going to take you seriously. You wouldn't take somebody else seriously. So be consistent with that. So yeah, that's the three don'ts, 3 do's. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this every single week. I'll do a poll, come on here and talk about what y'all voted the most for me to talk about. Hopefully y'all found this helpful. I kind of got a janky setup because my phone's charging, but I hope that was helpful. I hope that I hope y'all are already doing these things and not doing these things. If you are, that is amazing. If you aren't, you got some work to do. And that's okay. I have so much work to do myself. I was just talking to my friend. It's like, it feels like it's never ending. And that's because like, it's just, I feel like until like things are cool, but until things get to like how I really, really want them to be, to I know like, okay, that's my best, then it's never ending. It's always something to do, always something to tweak. That's exciting to me. That's exciting to see my growth and to see like, how things have changed, how far I've come. So, like I said, I have some work to do. Some things that I'm working on right now is, my family is about to come in, so it may be a little background noise. But some things that I'm working on right now is really getting together some fire lead magnets so that I can continue to build my email list and start building my list on this page. And also look into turning some ads back on and starting ads on this page. So don't be afraid to take risk. This is two risks that I'm getting ready to take. I'm going to invest time and money into both, and we're going to see what it does. So I love y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good night.